Nobody wants to see these camps that have sprung up around Portland. You don't, we don't, and since 35% of those in these tent camps are women and many have children, well, they don't either. That's right, there are children inside these tent camps. And it's the worst time of year for this. The weather's terrible, it's not safe, and really no child should ever be in a tent or under a bridge during the holidays or really any time of the year. But the number one reason that women and therefore children end up in these camps is because of domestic violence. The Union Gospel Mission operates LifeChange for women and children. It's a safe, healing home where you can deal with the issues of abuse and addiction and homelessness. Over these next few minutes, we're going to introduce you to some of the women who are in LifeChange, and their lives are changing. For instance, Misty. Misty was in one of these camps. So how does she get from here to here? LifeChange for women and their children is a safe, healing home where Misty's life is changing.
Being homeless, I never thought I would ever be homeless. Never thought I would ever be living in a tent. Never thought I would be eating out of a garbage can. But I did. I lived in a tent for 2.5 years in Delta Park, not knowing when I'm going to eat, and just loneliness, a lot of loneliness, and very scary. Winter in a wet tent is very, very cold. It is like I would fall asleep so cold I would wake up feeling warm because of the coldness would numb me. The holidays in a tent were very sad, and I felt very lonely. I blocked my family out of my life because of my addiction, and I was too ashamed of where I was at in my life to have my family known where I was at. So it was very heartbreaking not to be able to go around my family because of my conditions of my addiction and my lifestyle. I just was tired of the lifestyle. I was tired of waking up cold, hungry, not knowing when I'm gonna get a next meal, you know, and just that fear of being alone and not being wanted or accepted anymore, you know? So that's what made me realize I need to change. I felt this place was home the day I walked in the door. I felt the acceptance, the love, and the compassion they have for others. I felt like I can change my life. And now I have a room that's full of my belongings, personal belongings that are more valuable and precious to me. And I have a warm bed I can sleep in every night. And I have a shower I can shower in. And I have a place where I can sit and do my homework. And I actually have a dresser that holds my clothes, you know, instead of like a basket or a garbage bag or something. And I'm in the GED program there, and I'll be continue doing that because it takes about 6 months to a year. Never ever dropped this. Never thought I would be sitting right here talking to people. Never thought I would be sitting here fulfilling my dreams or my goals. Yeah, never thought. Now I have my family, I have love, I have gifts, and I get to fulfill the love of Christmas. I get to enjoy the love and the laughter of friends and family. People that think that people that are in a tent are not capable of changing, that's a lie, because I'm here and I have 9 months clean almost. I'm living the life that God wants me to live, happy, clean, safe.
The holidays are upon us, and there's really no time of the year where a child or a woman or really anybody should spend time in a tent or under a bridge or just being homeless. LifeChange for women and their children is a place where women and their children can find this safe, healing home. And within that, they can deal with the issues that they may deal with: abuse, homelessness, addiction. All those things happen, and that is why lives change. We're asking you to call the number on the screen. For every $22 you give, you provide a night of safety. Now, that includes the 3 meals a day and all the other care that comes as being part of LifeChange, and over the course of our program, you'll hear more about those services. But we are asking you to call right now to the number on your screen or to jump online and make your gift. That $22 goes a long way. $154 would take care of somebody for a week. Please be as generous as you possibly can. The holidays are no time for a child to be on the streets or in a tent or under a bridge, and so when you make your gift, that also includes presents for the kids here at LifeChange. So please make your gift. Don't wait. The number works right now, as does, of course, jumping online to make your gift online. As we come to you and ask you to give, we want to continue to share stories with you. The holidays, boy, they're tough for those that are on the streets. And so we're going to share with you Tiffany's story, who just last Christmas was in a pretty tough spot.
At this time last year, I was active in my addiction, and our home was cold because we didn't have heat. Our home was bare because we didn't have food. It was not a place of safety or security. It was infested with rodents underneath of it. It was just not a place where any child should spend Christmas. It's not a place where anybody, any family should spend Christmas at all. I grew up in a typical Norman Rockwell painting, what everyone describes as like Americana, perfect home, white picket fence. I did everything that I thought you were supposed to do. I checked all the boxes. I married the right guy, in my opinion, at the time. I started the family and I started the career, and we had a savings. I had a 401k, and I sacrificed it all for the drugs. Christmases during my addiction were something that I avoided. They were chaotic and a huge source of pain because it was a reminder of how far I've fallen. Our home wasn't even close to what a kid wants to be in at Christmas time or any time, but at Christmas time, a child and a family should be in a home that is lit up and welcoming and warm and a safe haven. Our home was none of those things. Bad isn't even a word I could use to describe. I had a rock bottom. It was so ugly. It involved not showering for days, not caring what my children were doing with their time, not caring about getting them to school. All I cared about was getting high and getting that next fixed. I let it all go. So that's how ugly it was. My only other alternative was the street. When I walked through the doors at UGM, it felt great. Honestly, it wasn't what I expected at all. I had a room that looked like a bedroom and not a hospital room. I had a bed that was made up for me with love from the residents. It had a cute little pillow on it that said "best day ever" and like all these warm, girly blankets. It's almost like they knew me before I got here. And I say this a lot. I felt home within the first 24 hours of being here. So once I got stable, within the first month or so, I became very interested in learning the truth about my story and what brought me here. I started taking classes that first week, and I just wanted to explore the actual science behind my brain and how my brain works. Is fascinating to me, but also the emotional part of it. The emotional part, the relational part of how I ended up making the decisions I made I think will be the difference of what keeps me clean long term versus not. So to talk about the holidays upcoming, it gives me goosebumps. I can't wait to use a pretty corny analogy. I am a kid at Christmas waiting for the holidays. I can't wait for this holiday season. I can't wait to do the things that the holidays are about and do it as a sober, aware person. It's so exciting.
This holiday season, Tiffany and her family are living a very different life. They're at LifeChange, a part of the Union Gospel Mission. This is their room. When you call the number on your screen and you make a gift of $22, you're providing what Tiffany and her children need for one day. That $22 provides a night of safety in a safe, healing home. It also provides 3 meals a day and all the other parts of the program of LifeChange, which is part of the Union Gospel Mission. So please make that gift now. Please call the number on your screen or go online. Because addiction and homelessness, that can end. And it can end and bring hope to the life of a woman, a child, and all those who come to Union Gospel Mission. It is important, and it is the holiday season. So please call. Homelessness can end, and you can be part of the solution to that. We're continuing to share with you stories, and as we are in the holiday season, of course, we think of children. So yet another story of how your gift makes a difference as we share this story of a mother and child.
Well, we always put up this tree that would always drop the little sticks on it. So we got one that is like a triangle and it has no branches or like that. And it has little circle, big lights.
I was in my active addiction for about 5 years on and off. There was just a lot of jail time in between that. It's so sad because I was so stuck in my use that I just couldn't be like her mom. I would hope to see her, but I wouldn't. I think it was Christmas of 2014. Me and Dahlia's dad both went home and we were on the run, and he showed up with some extravagant Hello Kitty mobile. And it was so sad because she was like, I just want you guys to stay, and we couldn't. We knew if we stayed we were going to jail, so we couldn't, and we left, and it was super sad. Gosh, it was horrible. I remember when she called me, I was like, yeah, we gotta go. Sad.
For many years, I had always wished to live with my mom. I wanted to start a new life with my mom.
When I got here to UGM, December 12th of 2016, I remember, because I'd been sober for months, feeling like, dang, I'm gonna miss this Christmas with my kid. The roads were so bad. I drove here in 14 inches of snow. So she didn't get to make it for Christmas. I got to see her on her birthday on January 12th, and we had a Christmas. We had our own Christmas that day. And then she moved in with me 2 months after that.
When she told me that she had to come over here, I was sad. But then when she came to visit and said I could go live with her, I said yes. I wanted to know what it was like to live with my mom, and I actually wanted to. But it was hard to leave my grandma. Well, when we first got here, she was nervous because she never knew what it was like to have me and take care of me. And now she really does know.
If somebody would have told me 3-4 years ago that I would have been a mom, a responsible, mom like I am now, I couldn't have believed it, because I'm a present mom. Even though I work 40 hours, and even though I go to school 40 hours, and I always ask her, do you know why I'm doing this? And she's like, for me. And I'm like, okay, there you go. But now she knows that.
But she used to spoil me at the time, and now she's a real mom.
I truly believe that I am the woman that I am today, thanks to the love of Christ that I found here at UGM. I've never felt or seen a love more real than the one here. Not in these walls. It's not the walls that do it. It's the people. They've genuinely loved me, which made me more vulnerable and being open to loving other people.
I am looking forward to Christmas and having a good Christmas.
For the first time in
10 years.
When a mom and a child find safety, it leads to a totally different life. The stability that comes here at LifeChange Center for Women and Their Children begins with something as simple as meals, which is what your gift helps to provide. The $22 for a night of safety and the 3 meals and all the care shows itself in what's happening behind us. Children, moms, getting the meals that they need. That's part of what your gift does. But it also leads, of course, to the life change that we talk about. During the holiday season, we believe no child should ever go hungry. No person should ever go hungry. No child should be under a bridge or in a tent any time of the year, let alone during the holidays. So your gift right now, by calling the number on the screen, helps to provide all those things, $22 at a time. So $154, you can take care of one person for a week. $660 takes care of them for a month. Because that $22 per day starts here with the meals, goes to a home where they find safety and security. And then the life change begins to happen through the classes and everything else that's provided. So we want to move you from the dining hall, one of the beginning points, into the understanding of what happens when a woman enters LifeChange. That's what we're going to talk about now with Johnny, the director here at LifeChange. Johnny, it's the holidays, and I would imagine that it is an especially difficult time for women and children that are on the streets.
The holidays are one of the most difficult time of year for people who have suffered trauma, domestic violence, addiction of any kind, even if they're not the addict, say the male in the home or the significant other is an addict. During the holidays, they're going to use more because it's a party time. And when they use more, then there's more abuse to the others. It is very real for these kids who come in here and the women to not have any happy memories about holidays at all. But instead, those be the most traumatizing time of the year for them. And so we get the amazing opportunity to show them something different.
One of the things that we've talked about already on this program is that stabilizing the family is a first step, right? So a safe, healing home, the stability of 3 meals a day. To those who think that's just something simple, it's more than that, isn't it?
It's way more than that. Most of them don't have a history of a stable home. They don't even know what it looks like. The places that they've lived, the places that they've gone, have been a lot of times hoarded shacks, or like you said earlier, a tent. So for them to be able to come in and see something that's comfortable, that's cozy, that feels like a home and not an institution, immediately starts letting down their defenses. They start feeling safe. Our job is to provide a safe, healing environment. And so being able to start that with that safe environment of 3 meals a day, hot meals a day, snacks. We do games where the kids get to be involved too, so that the women learn how to play games with their children, because all they've had to do is survive. And survival doesn't usually include having fun. They're just trying to make it one more day. And so those types of things that we may take for granted or think, oh, that's just play, it is extremely healing and bonding. A lot of our women have not bonded with their children. And so being able to show them how to bond, how to hold them in a healthy way, how to hug, how to say, I'm sorry you got hurt, let's work through this together, is amazing.
It is called LifeChange, yes. Right? And I think that's one thing that we want to make sure everybody understands, is that people can change. That if they see them in a tent or they see them on the side of the road, there is hope for them. There is a way to end that for them. And it's going to take some work, but it is possible. There is tremendous success in this program.
Yes, there is. Huge amount of success. And we are happy about that. And we continue to congratulate the women as they succeed. And our success isn't just monitored when they graduate. We go back 6 years and we can see the success of women in program. I've got staff members here who have graduated program, gone on to college, got their degrees, and then came back to work with us. It is a lot of work. It's hard work to change, because they have to identify they have a problem. And then they have to have the willingness, not just the want, but the willingness to do whatever it takes to change that problem. And especially in addiction, we have a want to change long before we have the willingness to change. But it's when those two collide, at that moment, that's when the miracles happen. And that's what we're looking for.
And it's incredibly successful to get somebody off the streets.
83% of the women who've graduated our program over the last over the last 6 years have successfully stayed clean, sober, self-sufficient, an asset to society.
Wait. 83% of the women 6 years after this program are still clean, sober, and healthy in society. 83%.
Yes.
That's LifeChange.
And we get to watch it.
One of the things that we hope to accomplish in our time together is for you to understand that Union Gospel Mission and LifeChange is more than just a place for someone to get a meal or find a safe place to spend the night. Now, we do that, of course. Your $22 does provide a night of safety at LifeChange for a woman or a child. That includes the evening, of course, in their own room, plus also 3 meals a day, but it also opens up the door for all the other things that happen. It's critically important that you make that phone call. It's critically important that we invest because we can break a generational cycle of homelessness, addiction, and poverty. So please make the call, make the gift online, do what you're able to do for this holiday season. And as you make that gift, know that you're investing in the long-term success of a person. Here in the Learning Center is where those in LifeChange come. Their educational needs are addressed. Maybe it's a GED, maybe it's a high school diploma, but there's also parenting classes and addiction recovery classes. The things that a person needs to really change inside, because the meals and a place to stay, those are external needs. The internal need is really where people start to change. So yes, your $22 does meet a physical need with shelter and meals. But so much more than that, it deals with the inside of a person where they can change. And the question can be asked, of course, does it work? Yes, it does. We're happy to share with you why it works and how it works, and a life that has been changed. We're happy to introduce you to Sarah.
August of 2015 is when I first heard about Union Gospel Mission Women's LifeChange. I was homeless. I was addicted to alcohol and drugs. I had broken apart my entire family, my relationship. Ended up sometimes sleeping in tents, sometimes sleeping in trailers with friends. I had been searching and searching and searching for a place. I had tried everything. I had tried inpatient treatments, outpatient treatments, hospitals. I had tried programs, and nothing worked for me. But when I came into this home, it felt safe. It felt loving. It felt like home, and it felt like I could heal, and I could be safe, and I was secure in it. So this was the first time that I had felt hope when I came into this house in probably about 3 years. I think the biggest thing that I realized for me personally, and why I feel that the program was so successful for me, was because I learned about unconditional love. That no matter what I had done, it didn't mean I was a bad mom. It didn't mean that I was a bad person. I may have made some serious mistakes, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't a plan and a hope for a future. And I was taught that here, and I was given that grace, and I think that the significant change here was getting into the root of the wound and what was hurting me to the point where I was making those decisions. And instead of just putting a Band-Aid over the wound, it was healing of that wound. So I have over 4 years clean from alcohol and drugs. I hold a lot of different service positions. I mentor women. I help people that are struggling, in addiction. I am going into jails. I am going into homeless shelters. So I'm able to give back in a lot of ways. And I feel that that's important because what was so freely given to me by Union Gospel Mission, I am able to freely give that to others in different ways. So, I have an amazing relationship with my son, and I think the best part for me is just being able to be present in those moments, and watching him grow up, and Now, the holidays, they mean something to me. It's just life. It was life that was given back to me. So holidays to me today are filled with hope and filled with joy and filled with gratitude for where I'm at versus where I was. The motto of Union Gospel Mission is LifeChange, a women's LifeChange program, or the LifeChange program, and I didn't realize that how true it was, that there would be true life change. It's complete transformation, and it's true. I'm a living example of that change. Like this can't be fake. This is real. Like my life is just, it's just completely different. It's walking out completely different than walking in.
At the beginning of our time together, we asked a very important question. Can somebody, including women and children, who are currently in a tent or under a bridge, can they change? Can they get out of that life? The answer, of course, is yes, and you've seen that over the course of our time together. LifeChange for Women and Children is part of Union Gospel Mission, and your gift right now is incredibly important as we are in the holiday season. For $22, your gift at LifeChange provides a safe, healing home. The 3 meals that come with that and all the other parts of our program really do change lives. From our GED programs to our parenting classes to our addiction recovery programs, all the things beyond the basics, those are the things that really matter when it comes to changing lives. So your gift is incredibly important. And since this is the holidays, when you make that $22 gift, that will also provide presents for the kids at LifeChange. So with our time almost over, would you make that phone call? Would you make the gift? If it's $22, that's for one day here at LifeChange. If it's $154, you take care of a person for a week. Be as generous as you can. It is the holiday season, and you can make this a season of change. When you give, just know that you are making it a home for the holidays.
And it's really just having compassion and caring and knowing that, that somebody might truly want change like I did. I was begging for a different situation. I did not want to be where I was. And it was somebody coming along and letting me know that it can truly change. It can be different. You don't have to live that way, and it's, if somebody's heart is ready for change, you can be that person that could get them there.